All right. So for those of you just joining, welcome, welcome. I'm Renee McLaughlin, and I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight and to share information about this incredible, my words, incredible new physiotherapy device called the Iteracare physiotherapy. We call it a wand. Some people are calling it a health blower. I just call it my magic wand because that's how I see it, but you can call it anything you want. Anyway, I found the wand about a month and a half ago, probably about the middle of May was when I actually got it. And actually about a month before, my friend Cheryl, who is right here on my side, hey Cheryl, wave, so everybody sees that that's Cheryl, my dear friend and energy worker, called me and said, hey, Renee, I have found this device and I'm just kind of blown away with it. I'm like, really, Cher, tell me about it. And she said, well, you know, I was having a really hard time lifting my arm and it was really hurting and nothing was touching it. I was trying all kinds of things. And I heard about this wand in another group and I figured, what the heck? It was very affordable. Let me get it and try. And she did. And within just a few days, oh my goodness, she could move that arm in a way that she had not been able to. And had some other interesting responses as well from it. And she can share that in a little bit of time with you. So I was like, well, you know, okay, let me kind of wait and see how you like it a little longer. How many of you guys do that, right? Let me see if it works for you before I try anything. But she calls me back and she's like, I'm telling you, Renee, this thing is amazing. I'm watching and I'm having other people do it. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And boy, am I glad I did, because I got it. I started using it. And I've been also really excited about all the possibilities and the results that I've gotten. Now, I am not a sick person. I'm really very healthy. But listen, you know what? This week I'm celebrating my 64th year on this planet. Yes, yay. Right? Thumbs up, everyone. Yes, I'm proud to say that. I earned every wrinkle of that 64 years. And I'm a trainer, so, you know, we're always a little bit sore, right? We're working out, we get a little of this, a little of that. So I don't know, I wasn't even sure what I would even notice with that, but I have noticed some really beautiful results. And what I recommend to anybody that gets it is really pay attention to all the things, all the shifts and changes, because a lot of things start to happen when you begin to give your body this beautiful healing frequency, things that you probably never even expected to be helped. I'll share with more of that as we get going. So let me start on the presentation. I'm going to share my screen here. And we're going to start by seeing old Albert, my buddy here, Albert Einstein, who years ago said that the future of medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. Why? Because everything is frequency. And he understood the fact that when you are using energy and information, this is what is going to be healing us. And guess what, you guys? The future of medicine is here now, and that's what we have. Terahertz frequency has actually been called one of the top 10 most advanced technologies to change the world. And it's not just in health, but also in science. They're using it in the military, in agriculture, in communications. But boy, to be able to use this frequency to help us heal is fabulous. A Japanese authority scientist was calling terahertz light wave as the light of life. And you're going to see why in just a moment. So what exactly is terahertz? It is a frequency. What you're going to see right here is that it's between microwaves and infrared. It's actually between 30 UMs and 3000. And it's the same frequency as a normal, healthy human cell. It generates millions of vibrations per second. Now, the terahertz device is actually a combination of Chinese medicine. So a lot of what you're going to hear today might sound a little odd to our Western ears because it is the Chinese that actually developed this. So they used a lot of the Chinese medicine understanding of health, but it's also combined with Western cytology technology. And that just means Western cell technology. Here are the principles of the Iteracare. It's 5-in-1, and we're going to go over all these, but it's been found that just an hour of therapy using these devices is equal to 10 times an acupuncture treatment, 20 times cupping, 30 times gua sha, and 40 times massage. And that's pretty powerful. So let's continue on. So there are 5 actual features of Iteracare wand that I want to talk about because they're important, and we're going to go through each one of them. The very first one is safety. So I have a feeling a lot of you, when you first heard about this, was like, is it safe? I've had people say, well, it comes from China, not so sure. Well, here's what I will tell you. This device is patented, it is certified, and it is safe and effective. It was actually certified through the Chinese and Beijing Academy of Sciences. They hold the national intellectual property rights and the patent certifications. And it has been shown to be 100% safe. So on that, you do not have to worry about. And we do have all of the test reports, everything you need to feel confident that the terahertz wand is safe. Penetration is the next one. Why penetration? Well, because when you blow the terahertz frequency into the body, it's been shown that it will go in and penetrate the skin up to 30 centimeters. Now, why is that important? It's important because it's going to get all the way in deep into the bone marrow. It's going to get into our micro blood vessels and capillaries. It enhances microcirculation and eliminates water retention in our bodies. And that's because of that deep penetration. Identification, this is the next part. What does it do? Well, you know what? When you blow that energy in, it transfers energy into our cells, into the body, and it activates all the inert cells. We have a lot of inert cells in there. So it's going to strengthen healthy cells. Think about it almost like a battery. You have a healthy cell, it gets that additional energy. It's like really ramps up, which is one of the reasons that people claim it can really help with energy. It repairs damaged cells. It expels and liquefies unhealthy cells. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Unblocks passages, and it also does detoxify. Activation. What does it activate? Well, it regulates the body temperature, improves our immune system. It activates weak and inactive cells, which I just mentioned. And you know what? It's really user-friendly. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because if any of you have ever worked with any type of frequency devices or energy devices, which I have, I know Cheryl had, maybe a few of you have as well, they are phenomenal. But you know what? They're really challenging to learn how to use. And when you use them, a lot of it depends on the practitioner's level of knowledge. And there's a very high level of learning on it. And it's not something that anybody can just pick up and use. Not true with this device. Look, you can even see babies. It's on babies. It's on the elderly. It doesn't matter. You pick that blower up and you blow. It's really that simple. So everyone has the ability to have themselves use this beautiful frequency. All right. Oh, my little finger's going too fast here. Let's just go quickly over now the 8 steps to better health. What will the health blower help you with? Well, number 1, it's going to eliminate unhealthy cells. So that terahertz frequency, as we mentioned, it's the same frequency as normal cells. So what happens when you have abnormal cells? Well, they'll either be eliminated or absorbed. So we get rid of all those unhealthy cells. Then it activates inert cells. So we have a lot of inert cells in our bodies that just are there. They're not really doing anything. Those get absorbed and they get moderated, increase in temperature, and all those dormant cells will now be activated. Now, let me share something about inert cells as well. Interestingly, Hippocrates, way back in Hippocrates' time, he said that if you could find a way to heat the bones, you could cure all disease. And I read that and I thought, what does that mean? Heat the bones. And here's what I have learned, that in our bones, particularly the bones in our spine, that is where we have latent stem cells in our body. Now, you guys have probably heard about stem cell therapy. It's a great therapy that it's used. Let's say if you're having trouble with your knees, they use stem cells. They just put it right into the knee, because stem cells go to wherever we need to regenerate, whether it's organs and tissue, etc. And those stem cells go and help regenerate. But we have our own latent stem cells. Where? Deep in the bone marrow. And when you heat the bones, our own latent stem cells get released. And that's what that's talking about with dormant cells. Increases self-healing. Again, normal cells, it also induces and strengthens DNA organic matter and materials. So it can really help us self-repair our own body cells. Clears the meridian in the limb. So here's where you get into a little bit of that Chinese medicine, which is all about the meridian system. And the Chinese, I find this really fascinating. So I've been studying the fascia, and any of you that happen to know me know that we've been talking about fascia for years. And now, in the last 10 years, a lot of the Western anatomists have recognized that, oh my goodness, there is something to this fascia and the fascia system. And now they're really linking and looking at what they call the fascial lines and how that all works in the body. But guess what? The Chinese had mapped the fascial system 3,000 years ago, but they called it the meridian system. And in the fascial system, the meridian system, what can happen is we get blockages. And where there's blockages, there is dis-ease. So when you get acupuncture, the acupuncturists use needles in order to unblock energy and allow circulation and flow, etc., to flow through, thereby helping our health. That's exactly what the terahertz frequency does when we blow it into the body. So instead of using needles, we can use the terahertz. It unblocks the meridians. It stimulates those acupuncture points. It purifies our blood and increases the metabolic rate. How about that? Pretty powerful. All right, what else? It dilates blood vessels, reduces blood flow resistance and viscosity. What does this mean? Well, what this means is just think all of your microcirculation, the little vessels, the arteries, all through your heart, all through the whole body. It's going to dilate them, and then it allows for more blood flow, and it actually reduces the viscosity or the thickness of our blood, allowing more circulation to go through all of those vessels. So it improves microcirculation. So you can just kind of think about what that might mean. It regulates our glands. So it regulates the endocrine glands and also protects our organs. It removes water retention, and it clears unhealthy body moisture. So our body is made up of over 70% water. But you know what? Even though we might have a lot of water in the body, it's really hard to get that water into our cells to actually hydrate in our cells and allow our body to then excrete the cellular waste and bring in oxygen and nutrients in there. What can happen is when we actually wand our water, that wanding makes the water structured, it makes it much smaller, and it allows that water to actually get into our cells. So it improves hydration, but it also reduces any type of swelling where we don't need it. So it's going to do both of those. And when you reduce that, then you can also reduce a lot of the aches and pains and swelling that we get in our feet. And it could reduce blood pressure, because what happens when that swelling happens, right? Blood pressure goes up and we're told get off the salt and all that, right? So that we can reduce the edema. This absolutely will work to help that, and it balances up the immune system. Circulation, talking about the circulation with the microcirculation. But when that's happening, we're also cleansing the blood of impurities. We're cleansing the inner body because we're getting that hydration in the cells and then getting rid of the dead cells, promoting blood circulation, removing some clots, softening the blood vessels and the lumps. So as you kind of take what I'm saying, you can kind of go a little further and think about how that might help your body. So all that being said, what is the Iteracare really suitable for? Well, let's go over here. Any type of inflammations. So you can see all those: prostatitis, rhinitis up in the sinuses, pharyngitis, gastritis, gynecological types of inflammation, all kinds of various pains. We've had just amazing testimonials on people getting rid of shoulder and neck pain, joint pain, low back pain, headaches, sciatica, dysmenorrhea. So all kinds of even the gynecological and those types of pains. Various blockages, lymphatic blockages. So if you have lymphedema, this is so helpful. With varicose veins, it helps with weight loss. One of the things that has to do with weight loss is inflammation. So you kind of get what's going on there. Diabetes, high blood pressure, and all kinds of various skin conditions. It is wonderful for helping with the skin, anti-aging, beautiful, so good for all of these things. So I'm just going to show you just a few of the pictures and testimonials that we've gotten for different things. This one is psoriasis. So you see after 7 days, this is what it looks like. After 9 days, it actually almost looks a little worse, doesn't it? Because that's part of the healing process. Some of the crusting came out, but then you keep going, and look at what happened after just 22 days. Thyroid nodules. We talked about how it can really improve on some of your glands, like the thyroid gland. So you can see this lady had a very large goiter here. It was very enlarged. And after 10 therapies, 10 days, it's so much better. A psoriasis, here's another psoriasis. And after 10 times, you can see it's so much better. Burns, another thing for skin, open wounds, and how it was just healing so much quicker. And cuts and scrapes, phlebitis. Look at this one, so amazing. So one of the things that I do want to mention is, we definitely have our one-time wonders, I call them, where we have somebody that has like a really big knee and amazing knee pain, and after 20 minutes of blowing, oh my gosh, my pain is gone. Absolutely, that has happened, and it's wonderful. But that doesn't happen all the time. A lot of times the body needs to take time to heal inside, to do a little bit of detoxing. You just keep going. And over time, you continue to heal. So this was how that phlebitis, and that was only 20 times. Look at the difference. Beautiful. Bell's palsy. After 1 week, Bell's palsy can be so painful. This is what it looked like as he was doing it. Just 1 week, he was completely healed of that. Pigmentation, just wanted to kind of show you this because most of us do have some pigmentation. We get liver spots, aging spots, who knows? You just keep going, and look at that after 7 times. It absolutely works. I've been having some great success with some of that. And varicose veins. I know a lot of us have varicose veins. Look at that, how the veins just started to disappear after 1 treatment. So yes, 1 treatment, you could get some nice results, but over time, you can really make a big dent in that. So let me just share with you now who it's not recommended for. This is just as important, right? We do not recommend it for pregnant women. And there is a contraindication that was recommended for menstruation. So why is that? Well, mainly because it does increase blood flow, which we know is super important for microcirculation, etc. Now, interesting with the menstruation that I will say, I have seen some women who said, oh my goodness, yes, when I did it while menstruating, I really bled. There was an increase of blood. I've seen other women say it was the easiest period they ever had, and that didn't happen to them. So for that, just depending on where you're at one time, you might want to try it and just see or not. I'll leave that up to you. But I just wanted to make that, just that little notice, if you will. Acute diseases, no. You go right to your doctor, not for acute diseases. People with congenital heart diseases, no. Congenital, that's not what you want to be doing it for. Any object that's implanted in the body does not mean that you cannot use the wand. but you do not blow over any implants, and that includes teeth. A lot of us forget if we have implants in our teeth. Does that mean that you can't blow on the face? No, it means you go around any implants. You have a stent or something implanted in the heart, absolutely, you can still do it, just don't blow directly over the heart. Hip replacements, don't go right over the hip replacements. I think that I made that pretty clear. And no open wound and fractures. Okay, I will tell you though, I did a big scrape on my arm and it was open. It was doing a little bleeding. So I kind of like dusted it off a bit, got rid of the blood, and I started to want, because I completely forgot, to me that wasn't a big wound. And I just watched it heal. And I'm telling you, I practically have no scar now. But big open wounds, you do not want to do it on. Those are your contraindications. So let me just line this up completely, put a big bow on this with just a few more things to talk about with this. Number one, the manufacturer that is doing this through Deshang Technologies, they're constantly focusing and upgrading. We're on now our 4th generation of terahertz technology. They're constantly upgrading it. It is based on what we call a 3-in-1 core technology, if you're actually talking about the wand itself. We have the terahertz technology. There's also what we call quantum technology in here, where it's also giving off scalar energy. And if you're interested, you can always look up what that means. And there's also optical quartz technology. So it's also got quartz in there in order to amplify the frequencies. It has passed strict inspection by the national authority for its safe and efficacy and effectiveness. We talked about that. Numerous proven test results from the Chinese Academy of Sciences for the physical therapy effectiveness of this. We do call it a physical therapy device. There is a quality assurance of 1 year. You do get a 1-year warranty against any kind of manufacturer's defect. I will tell you there is no money back guarantee, so just know that. Why? Because the instrument does exactly what it says it's going to do. It is nationally renowned, certified, and patented, and Price International is the worldwide sole distributor. And Price is because it is called Price because it's the prime of life. So that, my friends, is the presentation. I did a pretty good job and did it pretty quickly, did I not? So at this point, I would love to just open it up to you for any questions. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, or you can raise a hand and I will unmute you. So what questions can I answer for you all? Go, Sean. Hi.
Hi, Renee. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How you doing?
Great. It was supposed to be here today and it got caught in the post office, so it'll be here tomorrow and I'm looking forward to it.
Great.
So, yes. Is it allowed to do with prolotherapy, with PRP? If somebody's getting a PRP treatment on a joint, would you use this on that?
I don't see any problem with that per se,
Okay.
but I don't have a knowledge of it.
Okay, because they want the inflammation to come through the PRP. That's the point of the PRP, is to cause the inflammation for the body to heal. And this sounds like it's kind of anti-inflammatory.
Right.
But there's a lot of pain in the shoulder and whatnot, and he can't lift. So
I would maybe not do it right there. I would still do the basic protocol.
The hands and the feet.
Correct.
Okay.
Hands, feet,
and the water.
Correct.
Okay.
And then let whatever's happening in the prolo deal with that. But you're still going to be getting the benefit of it. And then I don't know how long the prolo lasts or what that is. And then over time you can do it with that way.
Okay.
Yeah, great question though. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Renee.
Yeah, share, go.
Hey, so I had a couple of my direct people ask about the hydrating of the water and the effect that sometimes they feel even thirstier. They can't get their quenching thirst, so and I know that it's hydrating the cells deep in, so that most likely says to me that they are still very dehydrated and need to keep at it. Is that correct?
I would tend to agree with you. So you guys, here's the thing. I didn't really talk much about the how-tos because that's kind of a separate thing. But let's talk a little bit about the hydration because it is so important.
So important.
So one of the things that we talk about when you first get it, and we send you all the information, by the way, so you'll get information and guides on how to use it. I'm just going to go right over here because I brought my water just to show, in case anybody asked. It's heavy because I still have some water. So you guys can see it's a big glass pitcher. And I have my water in here, and mine actually has a little spout, so I can use it right from there. So what we recommend when you first get it, and each day you take your wand and you set it up maybe on something and you let it blow. You can let it blow on cool or hot, it doesn't really matter, into your water. And if it's something that big, I just set it on, go. I go in another room, I leave it on for a good 5 minutes, but generally anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. You can certainly do it in a glass, it'll be a little bit less time. You do want to blow your water. There's so many jokes about the blowing, right? So I'll refrain. You're going to give that water a good blow job, okay, for anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. Now, why? It does, by the way, go through the glass. You do not want to use plastic. You don't want to use metal. It's not going to go through there. You don't want to use ceramic. Do it exactly as we say. You want to do it through the glass. Now, you'll see a lot of pictures if you're in any of our groups with people feeling like they have to somehow mount it on something and go over in the top. That's fine if you want to do that, but you don't have to. It goes through the glass. Okay, so make it easy on yourself. All right, when that happens, what's happening when you put that terahertz into the water? It does what's called structuring the water. And it takes the water from kind of like molecules that are like all over the place into a linear fashion, and it makes them very, very small. Now, why is that important? Because when you drink it, you have that terahertz frequency, okay? And it now goes into your body and it is absorbed right into your cells. That's the difference. When we drink regular water, the water a little bit gets in, but not a lot. It's been suggested that regular water maybe hydrates you at about 3% cellularly. And this, it's been estimated at about 33% cellularly. That's a huge difference. So most of us, I'm going to say 99% of us, are dehydrated. And when I tell people you're dehydrated, they'll say, but I drink water all day long. So how many of you, first thing in the morning, you get your water, you drink it down, 3 seconds later, you pee it all right out, right? Drink it, pee it, drink it, pee it. It's not getting absorbed. So when we start hydrating, one of the things that can happen is that we get even thirstier. It's like that body is just loving this water, okay? And it can hold on to it and hydrate. So if you're continuing to be more thirsty, keep drinking and hydrating with the water. Here's something else that's really fascinating. I found when I first started doing it that I wasn't peeing nearly as much. And when I peed, it wasn't that color, yellow color. So you guys know, you take your supplements, you drink your water. When you pee the next time, how yellow is it? We're just peeing all those expensive supplements right on out, right? Because the body isn't absorbing it. When you also take your supplements in that water, or if you have any kind of liquid supplement, you can put it in the water, wand it. Yes, you can wand it right there, and then it gets into your cells so much better. And what's interesting is I wasn't peeing as much, and the pee was almost clear, which told me, wow, it's finally getting into my cells. So I think I answered that, Cher, which for me basically is, your body needs it. Maybe keep drinking until finally you're saturated, and then you'll be able to, you'll see that you'll start to pee a little bit more. So any of these kinds of, I'm going to use the word symptom just because I don't have reaction that the body's having, just know that when you're using healthy terahertz frequency, the body's healing itself. It's 100% safe. Even if you feel like you're getting a symptom that in your mind isn't good, oh, I'm getting hurt. I have a rash. Oh my gosh, now I have a rash. Is that terrible? Is it hurting me? No, it's the body healing you. So sometimes the body is going to have to get rid of what's there that's not serving you. So sometimes you can end up feeling not wonderful at first. Keep going, keep drinking the water. You'll come out quickly on the other end and be much healthier. So I think that's really important to know so that you don't think something is wrong. It's counter to how our Western mind works. In the Eastern Chinese medicine philosophy, they have more of an understanding of that, the unblocking of the energy and what might happen. So all that being said, I do want to say one more thing about that, and that is we recommend going slowly when you first get your wand. Now, I know if you've been in pain or you've got a lot of chronic illness, and we get this and we have so much hope, right? And all we want to do is just go wand, 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 right? We want to drink too much water, we're going to wand, wand, wand. And if you do that, you could very well overwhelm your body because it's powerful. It doesn't look powerful. You're going to be blowing thinking it's just like your hair dryer, but it's not, okay? It's powerful. And you want to go slowly. Allow the body to get used to the frequencies. Allow the body to start healing you. Allow yourself to not overwhelm your lymphatic system. Go slowly. And if you're interested, again, I've done videos on how to go slowly. We have protocols. We're all here for you with the support on that, but just be kind of careful. Now, even if you're detoxing a little bit, it's okay, as long as you know what's happening and you give yourself the rest and the extra water and the extra support around that. All right. Who else has a question? I can see we do have some chat. I think Cheryl might be. Cheryl, if you don't mind, maybe sharing. Hey, Elizabeth, come on, girl.
So my question is, I understand the need to have the water in a glass container when you're wanding it, but does it have to stay in glass? Because like when I'm on the go, I have like a stainless steel bottle that I use. Could it be put in stainless steel then?
Yes, great question, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for asking me that. Yes, from there, absolutely, you can transfer it. Yes. How long? So here are all the questions I get with water, you guys. So let me just get rid of it right now. We'll answer them all. That was a great one. How long does the frequency last in the water? Well, I'm going to say 24 hours, okay? Each day, rewand your water. Do we know this for absolute fact? I believe that we don't know for certain. The Chinese have given us 24 hours or longer, but my thought is whatever. I use up my water for the day, next day I wand. Drink the water. That's my number one. Then why should it be warm? That's the other thing. The protocol recommends when you first get it, first you want to drink 2 cups of either room temperature or warm wanded water. Now, not glasses, cups. A cup is 8 ounces. Just so you know, you want 16 ounces of room temperature or warm water. Why? Everybody wants to know why. I don't like drinking that. I want ice cold. 2 reasons why. Number one, Chinese medicine, and we know this even in Western, cold water is not good for the body, especially icy cold. It's a shock to the body, okay? The body, we have a temperature. What's our temperature? 98.6 or thereabouts. You don't want to stick ice cold water in there. It has an effect on our digestive system. That's number one. Number two, here's the reason. Because frequencies are more active in warm water. By the way, when we study fascia, you know what helps the fascia get more hydrated, etc.? Heat. So it's all together. So temperature really is important, okay? That's why it's warm water. Now, if you want to mess around and make it cold and do whatever, that's fine. But here's the protocol: room temperature or warm. Will it hurt you if it's cold? No. But will it be as active in cold water? No. Interestingly, even boiling the water does not stop the frequency. That's a good thing to know because I use it. I use it for my tea. I drink tea all day long. I sometimes use it for my coffee. I use it for everything. I just use it. Okay. But I'm always drinking warm water. So that's the answer for that. What other questions? What did I not answer now about the water? Oh, here's one other thing. Dan, I see you have a question. I'll answer just one sec. There's also part of the protocol which says they don't recommend that you shower. This is weird, right? Shower within 4 hours after wanding. So if you want to take a shower, they recommend shower first, wand. Now, why the heck is that? Here's the reason that I was told. Because even though you're in warm water, when you're showering, when you get out, there's a tendency to get a bit of a chill. So there's this whole thing with Chinese medicine. They don't want you getting chilled. They don't also want you sitting under air blowing on you. Now, I know right now I'm seeing this all in the groups. Well, it's 110 degrees where I am. I have to be in air conditioning. Yes, they're not saying don't be in air conditioning, but what they're saying is you don't want to have a fan blowing air on the body. This is also part of Chinese medicine, by the way, which is wind. They go with the elements. There's a wind element that can be detrimental to our health. Yes, you can be in the air conditioning, okay? You just don't want to catch a chill. Don't have the wind on you. Okay, now I'm done, Dan. So unmute yourself and come on down. What other question can I answer for you? There you go.
Thank you. Not pertaining to water, I'm also a trainer and I have some clients with health issues, and some of them, would be interested in learning about osteoporosis. If it's a wand, would be a good choice of a health choice for them. Knee issues around regenerating new bone tissue and those joints is, root cause kind of corrections rather than just feel good corrections. How close does the wand get us to root cause?
So here's what I'm going to tell you, and this is true about anything anybody's going to ask. You'll just hear it over and over again. The wand does not cure anything. All the wand is doing is giving you those beautiful healing frequencies to allow the body to heal itself. And how each of our bodies take that frequency and use it to heal is individual to each person. So when we see what the terahertz frequency has been shown to do, you can kind of come to your own conclusions about that. So what we have seen are those types of results that people are getting. But it would be illegal for me to say, yes, it's going to cure your osteoporosis. That would be an illegal statement to make. But I think you can kind of take what I'm saying and say, the body has an amazing ability to regenerate itself and to heal itself when given all the things that it needs.
So you were talking about oral health regarding teeth and implants, gum recession, bone loss of the bone for the jawbone where the tooth is connecting, regeneration of that particular bone.
Once again, I'm going to answer you in the same exact way.
Okay.
Body's going to heal as the body's going to heal.
All right. And one other thing came to mind regarding, you were talking about circulation and how important it is. And, when you were talking about circulation, and then you run that circulation through your liver and other organs, how are those organs responding to this new hydration molecule?
The body's going to take that molecule and it's going to heal as it's going to heal. You know, I don't think any of us can really make statements saying anything past that. But what I can tell you is we've seen some amazing results that people have shared with us on how their bodies have taken this and worked. You can also take a look at acupuncture and Chinese medicine over the millennia. How has that been effective? Because you're going to see a lot of the same things when you when you unblock the energy meridians, the liver meridian, the kidney meridian, on and on, the body now is able to heal itself. And I know that Cheryl wanted to say something, Cher, so I'm going to open it to you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to do a little testimonial. I had a mild stroke in 2013, and I was affected on my right side, my hips. It was always achy. And since I've been using the wand, I have no pain. It's amazing. It's like a whole new leg on my body, where I was walking and I would be just like, you know, really in pain, you know, and lifting it, and it's doing amazing. So answer to you, Dan, I believe it can help that, because I did have some of the degeneration in that hip from the stroke. Hope that helps.
Thanks. Yeah, Elizabeth, go ahead.
So if you had, I see seen the pictures, and it's like a little wand. So are you capable of using, I can see using it on myself on my front side, but what about if I wanted to use it someplace on my back side? Because I see a lot, I was on YouTube ever since I saw you talking about it.
Yes.
And everybody's blowing, somebody else is blowing on their back side. And so can I do it myself? I live alone.
That's a great question. And the answer is yes, you can do it yourself. Now, you might see some people, they have holders for it and they kind of use it, etc. I'll tell you how I do it myself. The wand that terahertz frequency goes in 30 centimeters, so it can go there. And I also believe in intention and mind body. So when I'm doing it on my front, I'm visualizing it also going all the way back into my back spine. And I'm doing it for front and back. And I have a very strong belief that works. So that's how you would do it without having to strain and stress. Somebody just thank you, I'm just going to read. Rachel said she bought a hairdryer stand and she uses on her back that way as well. So there are hairdryer stands, they're just hairdryer stands, and they do have like a hook here. So you can just take off the bottom and you hook, and you can do it that way. Okay, Cheryl has one. Thanks, Cher. She has it like that. And so you can just hook it up and back and do it that way. We can get creative about all that. No problem. And I did see Carmen asked a question about eczema on her legs. And so Carmen, having suffered with eczema for 60 some years myself, a couple of things I can tell you about that. Number one, eczema a lot of times is a gut issue. And this wand has been shown to also really help with gut. So one of the things that I do as well is I take it after I do my basic protocol. You know, I've been doing it for a little while now. This isn't what you do first off, the basic protocol. And then there are protocols where you can go in a clockwise position right around your belly from here on down. And I'll do that for about 10 minutes, but maybe do it less the first couple times you do it, because it's powerful. And I will tell you that it definitely will help get the gut back into alignment. Let me just put it that way when you think about what it does. Number two, yes, absolutely. Put it on those eczema scars. And you want to do it in circles, clockwise circles over that. Maybe start with 2-3 minutes and see how that is. I have a strong belief you are going to get some great results, and I can't wait to hear what those are. Thanks. Anybody have a testimonial that's already had the wand that would like to share? Tammy?
So I just got my wand just 2 weeks ago. Now, my background is I'm a nurse practitioner, and I've read a lot on different alternative medicine modalities, and energy medicine has always intrigued me. So, I just started messing with it on everything. I haven't read the guides yet, but I started, we just go full force. I have a lot of mini testimonies, like my right shoulder. I sleep on my right shoulder a lot. I was seeing a chiropractor, haven't seen him in a month because my schedule got off kilter. And then I would get muscle spasm underneath my right scapular area. So I immediately went to my right shoulder, and I could say I have a lot of mobility in my right shoulder. I don't wake up with a sore shoulder. I do the water, and this is going to be a lot of too much personal information, but I think it really helps because a lot of women, especially women who have polycystic or overweight, they get that darkening of the skin in between the inner thighs, just thyroid is all it is. And I noticed when I was drinking the water, that was lightening up almost by 50%. And I have a surgical scar from a year ago that's lightening up that I've noticed. And I put the terahertz, the wanded water, in my cat's bowl, in their water bowl. And just the other day, he was laying, I have a long hair cat, and his hair is like silky smooth. And I blow dry my hair, it's silky smooth. Over the weekend, my nephew was having gastric pains, and I took the wand and I just blew it over, and he felt it move from the esophagus all the way down to the epigastric level, and I just followed it down, and it took it away. And I think as a practitioner, I can make some statements. It took his pain away. so I love it.
Pets love it. It is so great for pets. It's good for your plants. You can wand your food. You know, all you're doing is giving it great frequency. That's so exciting, Tammy. Thank you for that. Yeah. By the way, you mentioned something that I do also want to mention, which is scar tissue. And scar tissue from surgeries, we can get scar tissue even if we haven't had surgeries. And when that scar, it adheres into the bone or the muscle. And that's a lot of times what's causing pain. They're really fascial adhesions. Wand those scars. Wand the scars, it will open, and that's a huge reason, I think, why a lot of the pain goes away. I did see, I think, Rachel, did you want to come out and ask a question? I can see you've got one already hanging.
Yeah. I bought the wand from somebody else, sorry, only because you were talking about it and I was hearing about it, so I bought it. And I live alone as well, and I'm like, if I have to sit there and hold it over myself, I know I'm going to get bored and forget about it. So I got the hair dryer stand, and it's been very helpful because I'll put my pitcher of water underneath it and walk away. And I have been making ice cubes, and maybe I should stop with so much cold water, but because my acupuncturist did say that. So, but I do make my coffee with it, and I drink it all day. And I'm happy to hear you talk about what it's doing as far as how often you do or don't pee, because that is changing. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to know that it's making that change on the inside, because I have been going slow. So grateful to hear that as well. I had a sonogram done of my thyroid that said that my thyroid was one side was really small and one side was really big. And that was a year and a half ago. So I've been just blowing just on my neck. And then over my liver, because it said my liver was very possibly non-alcoholic fatty. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of hoping if I just, maybe I don't need to, but concentrating on just those two areas.
Great.
See what that does.
Great.
So,
great. Good for you. That's wonderful. We can't wait to hear.
I do have a question though. Does it have to be on bare skin? I know we can go through the clothes. But because I used to do a pack with castor oil over my liver, and I'm wondering if I have oil on my skin and blow, is that going to be?
I would not blow with oil on your skin.
Okay.
I would blow first, and then you can always apply the oil. That's what I would do.
All right.
Okay. And one of the things to know too is you can absolutely do what Rachel's doing. You have a couple things, you just do that. The protocol, if you will, there is a protocol that we give to all of our clients. It's called the 10-step protocol, and it did come out of China, which is the 2 cups of the warm water, and then you start on your hands, everything's 2 minutes, so it's a 20-minute. Hands, clockwise, other hand, feet, then behind, then we start onto the lymph system. And so we have all that for you. We call that the basic protocol, because when you do that, you're basically hitting everything in the body. And then if you have time and you have specific issues, to go to those issues. Doesn't mean you have to. The way you did it is perfectly fine. But for those of you that don't have it yet, it's a nice way to do it because you really kind of get what you're doing with the 10-step protocol is you're opening up your body's energy channels and you're allowing the body to start to really absorb and handle the frequencies and allow the body to start to heal itself and then going into specifics. So just thought that I would mention that.
I just have one last question. I'm sorry, how long can the wand go for? Is there a time limit as to don't use it for more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes at a time?
The protocol is absolutely no more than 2 hours at one time. I don't think anybody would do that. If you're sick, you want to start slowly. It's in the blowing guide, so you can ask whoever got you, you bought it from to give you the guides. Recommend in the beginning, no more than 20 minutes, so you start slowly. And you can, if you're really chronically ill, you can do it more than one time in the day, but you want to put about 4 hours in between so that you don't overwhelm the system. Then they also recommend that over maintenance that you can do maintenance 10 minutes a day once you're where you want to be, and then to maybe not wand 1 day a week or a couple days in the month, not to, just so that the body gets, can really absorb it and not kind of get immune to the frequency, which is great. Beautiful. Anybody else have a question? I'm not monitoring the chat, but it looks like Cheryl is. Elizabeth has another one. You go, girl. Oh, vision. Okay, I'll ask that.
So about the implantables, would that include a continuous glucose monitor?
I wouldn't do it over that. No, I would say yes. And somebody asked about vision, and this is very exciting for me. I've been working on this. So the classic wand has 3 settings. The first setting is like, I'm just going to call it a high power, like it's a high blow with no heat. The second, it doesn't blow quite as powerfully, and it's about a medium heat. And the third blows powerfully and is a high heat. What's the difference? It's really very individual to what you prefer for the most part. So you don't have to really worry, are you on the right one? Okay. The only thing that I will say is on the face, you don't want to use heat. That is important. No heat on the face. Now, sometimes I'll use the second one because my second one isn't very warm. It's just kind of not cold. So I'll use that because it's a little less with that strong blow. But you can wand over your eyes. Close the eyes unless you have any kind of implants, okay? Any implants, you do not do it. Don't do it with your contact lenses in. But circular over the eyes, clockwise position, 2 minutes in each eye. And we have seen and heard some really pretty interesting testimonials on better eyesight, on improvement in macular degeneration, on cataracts, not that we're talking about medical diagnoses, but just some interesting testimonials. So that's what I do every day. I include my eyes. I can't wait to see. One thing I will tell you, if any of you have floaters, if you know what those are, there's little specks that when you move your eyes, you see. My floaters are gone and I had a bunch of them. And that's another little thing, like, did I get the wand to get rid of my floaters? No, but oh my goodness, I noticed they're gone. One other thing, use it for your hair dryer. Did you know that regular hair dryers emit an EMF, dangerous radiation? I did not know this. I've been doing it and I swear to you, my hair is growing thick. I used to get handfuls of hair when I would wash these curls. It would be just like handfuls. I was getting really worried about losing my hair, which happens as we get older. I am not losing my hair. Huge difference. That's exciting, ladies, just saying. And gentlemen. Yes, yes. So hair goes everywhere. Yes, it does. And often where you don't want it. So just be aware. Good stuff, you guys. Another couple of seconds if anybody else has any other questions or wants to share some results that they're getting. Not yet. All right. Well, listen, thank you all so much for taking your time out tonight to listen and learn a little bit more about this amazing frequency device called the Iteracare wand. And just know, once again, I really like to say this, while we're using frequency and energy, this is not some woo-woo device. This is cutting edge technology. This is where medicine is going. And it's just so exciting that we're able to have a self-care device using this cutting edge technology, using terahertz frequencies to help ourselves heal our bodies, for us to help our loved ones, our pets, our plants, everything living that we love. We're there and we can use it to heal that. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate you coming out tonight.